Alright, hello, this is going to be Solidworks CSWA practice problem 7.8, and if you want to follow along with the video, make sure to follow the link in the description, which will take you to the official Solidworks practice problem database. So let's get started. First of all, I'm going to make my rectangular extrusion. So we're going to just start by sketching the top line. Let's make a center rectangle. And then its side is going to be 225, and its width is going to be 850. 225, 850. Now let's extrude this. Let's extrude it downwards. So let's reverse the blind extrusion. And then let's blind extrude it by, it's gonna be blind extruded by 90 plus 16, which will equal 106. So 106, I believe. 106, yes. And you just add the 90 plus the 60, which the 60 are the kind of triangular cuts at the bottom if you look at the right side view. And that origin is going to be somewhere on this top face. And I guess to start, I'm actually going to make those triangular cuts now. So let's make those. I'm going to make a sketch on this right side face. Then I'm going to draw, actually first of all I want to draw a center line. Let's mirror some stuff. Then we'll draw a horizontal line with a diagonal line that goes to the, actually yeah, a diagonal line like about here. And then I'll just close it off. This contour off. Let's angle this diagonal line to be 45 degrees with the horizontal. So it should be 45. And then let's add a dimension between the bottom and the top of the cut, and that vertical dimension will be 16. And then we're going to have to mirror this. So let's click mirror entities, mirror all 4 of those lines, cross to the other side. And then our last dimension is going to be the distance between this bottom corner and this bottom corner. So the distance between those two mirrored entities is going to be 200. 200 on the inside. So that's that for the corner cuts. So then we can move on to the top cuts, kind of top like teeth cuts. So to start, I'm just going to make a straight line down. And then I'm gonna make like a relative T shape like this, and then we'll just mirror those across to the other side. Those 4 lines. And let's close off that contour. So from the total width of the part, or not the part, but this cut is going to be 25 millimeters. And then the width of its skinnier part is going to be 16. And then the height of the skinnier part is going to be 10. and the height of the wider part is going to be 12, like so. Yes, should look like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to linear pattern this to its left and right. So let's click linear sketch pattern. I wonder if I can do it in both directions. Let me see if I can do that. Oh, I guess we can just do it twice. Yes, I guess I'll just do it twice. So I'm just gonna do 2 instances for the x-axis direction, and the distance between the instances is going to be 65. And then I'll just select, this whole thing. So it copies all those lines, 65 to the right. So I'll select OK. And then I'll do that again, linear sketch pattern. And 2 instances in the x direction, 65 apart. But this time I'm gonna flip the, I'm gonna reverse the direction. And I'm gonna select this, and it should go to the left side this time. So we'll select OK. Now all we need to do is just put in the distances. But the distance, like the 65 distance, is actually between their midpoints. So I'm gonna find a midpoint. So the distance between this midpoint and this center line is 65. And then on the opposite side, the distance between this midpoint and this center line is also 65. So now you have fully defined sketches. And you have 3 cuts, or 5 cuts, including the triangles. And that should be it. So I'm just gonna do through all cuts. So let's go feature, extrude cut. Let's do through all. Oh, through all, like this. Select OK. And this is what you should be getting. And now finally, we're gonna make some slot cuts. So let's, I guess we'll draw a sketch on the front, on the top face, like this. And then we're just gonna draw a straight slot, like this. And let's make sure the center of this slot is vertically or horizontally constrained with the origin. Let's make sure the width of this slot is 40. And its centerline distance from the left side of the part is 45. And then distance between the center points of its arcs is going to be 165. And that should be that. And then we're just going to mirror this slot onto the other side with the vertical line. Let's click mirror entities. Let's select the whole slots, mirror about this line. There's the other slot. And from the top view, from both the top view and the isometric view, I think it's abundantly clear that the slot is going to be extruded, or it's going to be cut to the same depth as this. So I think we're just going to do an extrude cut of the slots up until this surface. So let's click Features, Extrude Cut, and it'll automatically select both slots. And we're just going to do from the sketch plane, but instead of doing it through all, we're going to do up to surface, and for the surface I'm going to select the bottom of the first cut we made. So it'll cut up to this surface. So I'll select OK, and there's your respective slot cuts from the top view, and that should be your entire part. Yes, that should be your whole part. So let's check the answer. I'm going to evaluate mass properties. Got a really big number. For your volume, you should be getting, oh, it's such a big number. Wait, let me see what this says. Oh, I see. Okay, so for your volume, you should be getting 18,306,608 cubic millimeters. I'm going to repeat that again. 18,306,608 cubic millimeters for your volume, which is the correct answer, and that's that. Alright, so I hope you learned something from this video, and I'll see you in the next one.